Hello, everybody. Welcome to the United Vibe. Welcome to your daily content. This is your evening's live show. We have got plenty to get through tonight. Who is going to be running Manchester United? Who might be running Manchester United? Should it all be accepted in this board meeting? And the proposal of 25% takeover for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos goes through. Well, we don't know, but we're going to look at some of the main names that are being discussed. And on this show, we'll get into a little bit more detail. Things that people want to talk about, things that people actually want to know about, and get into the know-how of how these so-called best in class actually operate. What have they done before? This is what it's all about on this show. This is what I want to do. I want to bring them subjects up and get you guys involved. And let's talk about things, not just the fluff factor, basically. Let's get into a little bit of detail. Quickly, before we get started, cheers everyone for joining in already. I can see the chat is going crazy already. Everyone's getting acquainted. I can see some members of the Old Trafford crew there having a bit of a chinwag as well. So don't mind me. But if you do want to get involved, get your comments in that section below. Anyway, quickly what to start. We've been running the channel properly again now for a couple of days. And wow, what a start it's been. Amazing. We had over 1,000 subscribers just over the weekend to the channel. So guys, if you are just tuning in, give the video a like, give the video a share, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button, because there is daily content. I forgot to actually mention this yesterday. Just absolutely blown away by everything that has been going on and starting up the channel properly again. I forgot to say that, I will be doing this daily. It's going to be every single day of the week. There will be content coming thick and fast, whether it's on location, whether it's live. It's going to be there every single day. So get tuned in. We'll let everything sort of simmer, bubble up through the day, get all the topics, get all the proper information. Let's remember, people, it's not about being first. It's about being factual. It's about being right. I'm going to break the details down properly on my channel, because there's things that I want to say. There's things that I've not been able to say. I'm just going to fucking say them now. So let's get into it. Yes. Hello, everyone. I can see you all joining in now. There's quite a few people in. Don't forget, likes. We have to hit that 200 mark. I know my mods are in there bigging that up. So do give the video a like, everyone. It is important. It does help the channel. And obviously, any comments you want to get in on the topics? Should I go through the subjects? Should I talk about what we're actually going to be going on about tonight? So Jim Ratcliffe wants the best in class. Chaos is the title. Well, like I said, I've got a bit more detail in that. It's not just a mad fluff title that we're throwing out there, because it is chaotic until we know how the structure of this deal works. We can talk about the share price dropping. The lowest it's been for a while. It's down by about 10% as it stands. There's a few hours to go in that market yet. So we could be seeing an all-time low and a very, very bad day for Manchester United on the stock and the actual price of the football club again. As expected, we don't really need to dive into that. There's not much in the shares. It's just what it is. And quite clearly, from the drop that we had, that dramatic drop back in September when the Glazers announced that they might be, well, they didn't announce, but there was rumours coming out that they might be coming out of or dropping the whole bidding process. When it dropped then, didn't really bother them then, did it? So nothing much more we need to worry about in terms of the stock price. It just lowers the price of Manchester United. But quite clearly, United aren't up for sale, are they? So that's that one put to bed. Best in class. What do I mean by that? I mean the people that Sir Jim works with, the people that Sir Jim surrounds himself with. Let's not forget what his company does and how much it turns over every single year. Just the mere 65 billion. In that, the man knows what he's doing, and he puts people in place to maximize everything within the businesses that he runs. Now, obviously, this meeting on Thursday, the board meeting, and everyone's saying it doesn't matter. People have already come on my tweet about there's a lot riding on this board meeting on Thursday. No, there isn't, because it doesn't matter. Well, there is. If you listen to what actually has been said, I mean, Ben Jacobs, for one, who we're speaking to at weekend, said that if it is approved, then Ineos have to come out with a statement. They have to announce things. So we'll hear what they say from there. Will it be Class A or Class B shares? We know that Class B shares are the more important ones. How many of them are being given over? If it was 25% Class B shares, then that does add a little bit more intrigue to the situation, because that does give Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe an awful lot more power when you read into it. So is it the sibling shares that are going? Avram and Joel, we know will be staying. We know that for a fact. Are any of the siblings being bought out? These are the things that we want to know about. All the questions that we want answering to. But who will Sir Jim bring in to run the sporting side of Manchester United? Who is going to come in and run Man? Are they going to step down as chairs, basically? That's the question. They could hand over the control of the sporting side to Manchester United. They could be just stepping down from their roles. This could happen. Another question. People are already putting it in. It doesn't. The Glazers have 90% voting rights, so it's simple as that. Well, it's not quite as simple as that. There's a lot more to it. So Jim Ratcliffe is not a stupid man. He's not going to invest that much money and not have a say on things and how things are run. If he invested 1.3 billion of some other people's investment, it's not all his money. Let's not forget that. If he's going to invest that much money, do you really think he's just going to hand it over to the Glazers with the stock price the way it's going and the way that Manchester United have fallen? Do you think he's that stupid? No. Think about it, people. He has to have a plan. Who is coming in? Sporting directors. We're talking about Paul Mitchell, Michael Edwards, possibly a new CEO in Jean-Claude Blanc. He's run PSG. He's run Juventus. He's run through big clubs before and overseen some. Let's call them the booming years of them clubs. I mean, for instance, we'll get into it in a minute. For instance, not many people are talking about what he did for Juventus in 2009, 2011 after they got relegated. He's seen them and the rise back for them. So he knows, he's been around big clubs and he knows what he's doing. He's obviously been involved with Ineos as well recently over the last, I think he's only just joined in 2022. So he was there with the entourage when Sir Jim visited Old Trafford as well. Alongside Sir David Brailsford, there's another name. We'll get into all of this and talk about it in detail. But starting off, we have to go down the Paul Mitchell route, don't we? Actually, I'm going to read through a few of your messages. Actually, whole situation is a disgrace. I like to involve you guys, so I'm just going to scroll back, freeze my page. Let me just see. Before you kick somebody out of bed, you have to get into bed with them. Is this a masterstroke from Jim? Will Jim pull off what protest have failed to do? Should we get a Jim statue ready? Question from Big T. That's an interesting point, actually. Good one. That one did just stand out for me there. I did see it as it went past. Ben Jacobs is rubbish. That's a bit harsh. He knows what he's talking about. He does talk a lot. I'll give you that. But like I said, he has been all over this. And pretty much everything that he has been saying has been factual. He doesn't overjump the gun. That's why people probably don't like him. He won't commit to saying a certain thing unless he's got all the facts behind him. Unlike quite a few other people, especially on social media. We all know who they are. Doesn't matter who Sir Jim brings in. Joel still holds the reins. Big up, Adam. Cheers, guys. Adam, you think we are becoming the new AC Milan? That's how I felt that weekend when I heard the news that the Glazers are staying. But again, obviously, as a fan, your intrigue just builds up, doesn't it? I mean, for me, I'm still sticking by serious consideration about being a match-going fan. I just cannot fund the Glazers. I mean, it's painful for me as it is. I've said this in the last two videos of even thinking about this, but these decisions have to be made. Unless debts are cleared and the club is rinsed, the club is stopped being rinsed season in, season out, then I just can't see it. I just can't see myself wanting to be there. It's not a nice place to be around Old Trafford. And people who I know in the chat right now, even who go to Old Trafford regularly, follow United all over the country, know that it's not a nice club to be around. It really isn't. And that's the hard bit. Let's hope Sir Jim backs Erik ten Hag in January. That's another question we've got to ask. Where is that money going? 1.3 billion. Is that going to be invested, or is that just going to go to people that are just buying out? All these questions that need asking, and hopefully we'll get a bit more light. More light will be shed on that by the end of this week. What are your thoughts? Did you want a full stake or full sale? Daniel has asked. Get your questions into me as well, guys, on anything you want to talk about. I do like to open it up to all the actual watchers, all the subscribers as well. What do I think? I wanted a full sale. Yes, I did. I was on the Qatari bid because the debt was being cleared above everything else. I was looking at it football matters rather than all the off-field, obviously the political stance on everything like that. I wasn't looking at it in any other way. I wanted a full sale because the debt was being cleared. I think we need to be open-minded, or we will just be depressed, says PJ. That's an interesting point again, mate. I think we do have to look at this for everything that it is. Sashin Brown says, Adam, why are you not on United stand? You speak a little more sense there. I mean, I speak sense here as well, mate. That's why I'm here. That's my own channel. I can speak more sense here. That's why. No, I will still be doing bits on the United stand, but I'm going to be doing a lot more content on my own channel as well. I think you guys deserve it, don't you? You've been waiting long enough for these live shows. Now I'm bringing them to you all the time. Gary Neville has asked the best 16 questions, 100%. Yes, I think Gary Neville's building up some dreamland, like a Disneyland United, in the questions that he wants and the points he's put across. I think we said that. Question: will bringing sporting people into the club finally add a developed 90,000 stadium be a step in the right direction? I think it's just put that out there wrong there, Big T, but I got the gist of what you were saying. Well, this is another thing that we need to know. Is Sporting controlling what we actually play in, i.e. the stadiums, the training ground, the youth team, the women's team? Is that involved? There's another question that we need to know the answers to. I think that's enough. I never say enough from you lot. Actually, let's get through a few more. Jokes aside, I don't think our rivals want to laugh at us anymore. You wouldn't laugh at someone in a wheelchair. We are broken. Harsh. Adam, how will the takeover talk now affect the team and Ten Hag for the rest of the season? We still need results on the pitch. Your thoughts? Yeah, I think if I'm Ten Hag right now, I am definitely wanting clarity. Who do I answer to? I think that's the top question that I'd be asking as Ten Hag, as the manager of Manchester United. Who do I now answer to? So, yeah, I think it does affect things. But, I mean, Ten Hag can only get his head down. There's nothing we can do anyway in terms of improving anything on-field, player staff-wise until January. We'll see where the 1.3 goes. Sadinja, I think 1.3 billion will go on the hair transplant for Avram Glazer. There's no hope for that. Not any penny, not any amount of money in the world would cover that bonds up, mate. So, nah, let's not waste it there either. Definitely not. Keep your questions coming in. Keep your comments coming in, everyone. We will get through it. I wanted to talk about what might be coming to Manchester United. Obviously, I did talk then about a CEO, which obviously brings up the question, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe came into power, and yes, it's an if, there's a lot of ifs and buts going around, but let's just talk about if, because this is, like I said, Sir Jim ain't spending this amount of money, and it's not all his money, like I said, unless he's getting something out of it. And he wants to run Manchester United as successful as he does his other businesses. Like I said, 65 billion turnover in Ineos. Nice, top of the league. He's starting to see good things in terms of what he's actually involved in. Obviously, Ineos, the biking side of things, Sir David Brailsford, everything like that. He usually does have a decent effect on things that he's involved in. And yes, I'm clutching at straws because like you're all going to come back at me and say the Glazers are still involved and he hasn't got full power, so it doesn't really matter. But I just keep holding on to the fact that he's not going to be doing this for nothing. So let's just talk about what might be and what could actually be something half decent out of all of this. Just try and keep an open mind, basically, is what I'm saying. You've just got to look at it and say, yeah, it's not what we wanted, but is there anything good that can come out of this? Can the club be run properly? Because let's be honest, we don't need anybody else's money. Manchester United have been robbed by the Glazers. Let's get this right. We don't need any extra investment. We didn't need Sheikh Jassim. We needed someone to come in and clear the debt. And then we will run fine on our own. Sheikh Jassim wouldn't have even had to invest his money. Manchester United are quite capable of running themselves. So for me, this is where I was at with it, and why the debt being cleared was why I was in on Full Sail more than anything else. So let's look at it this way. So Jim knows that Manchester United are a profitable football club, one of the very few. So I think I'm looking at him, what he's doing. I'm looking at Richard Arnold right now, and I'm starting to basically shit my pants along with a lot of the other United staff members, because him and Murto are obviously two positions in the club, and whether you think they've done a good job or not, I'm not going to get into that. But Sir Jim's coming in. If he's got power, he's going to put people he trusts. And yes, he may know Arnold, he may know Murto, but he knows Jean-Claude Blanc even better. He knows the success that this man has brought. Like I said, this is a guy that was with PSG for 12 years, the start of the PSG boom era. So he has got a clear vision of what it takes to run a, let's just say, ambitious football club, because that's what we have to put PSG in the bracket of. They've invested a lot of money, and he was in charge of all of that investment, and how he got around financial fair play and all of that, I do not know. As a member, guys, the member section is open. Paul D is a member. Your question does get priority. It's one of the perks of being a member of United Vibe. So if you do want to join the member section and give something back to the channel, like I said, everything gets reinvested back in to better the channel. And I am working on getting it to a level where it is right up there, and you guys will see that very, very soon. So if you do want to get involved, just press the join button next to the subscribe button and just go through the options and do what you want to do. It's not too much, I don't think. But Paul, you are a member. 11 months you've been a member. Man, that takes dedication. 11 months ago was the last live stream that I did before this weekend. So Paul, I bow to you. Take a bow, my son. Old Trafford will be renamed to have Ineos in it. Now, you're talking down, you're walking down an avenue, Yeah, if you're bladdered, yeah, maybe you're stumbling upon yourself, but you're walking down an avenue there, Paul, that is going to cause a lot of problems going forward. And I don't even think Sir Jim and all his boldness about trying to sneak in United and get his foot in the door, would you risk the wrath of this Man United fan base by trying to rename Old Trafford? I mean, you've got the Emirates Old Trafford down the road. Is that what you're thinking? The Ineos Old Trafford? Welcome to Old Trafford Ineos. Is that the sort of, is that where we're going? I mean, seriously, I mean, if anyone was smart, I mean, I don't want Old Trafford to ever be renamed, by the way. Just let me make that statement right now. Make that very, very clear. No, please no, God no. But I don't think it would necessarily be Ineos. You'd want outside investment, surely, wouldn't you? Just to actually try and use what you've got, the assets that you've got, Old Trafford. Maybe something else. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, Paul. It is a very important point, and it can definitely be. It can happen, can't it? I don't want to say it. It can happen, but let's hope it doesn't. I don't think Sir Jim is that stupid. Talking again, let's get into what I was just talking about there in terms of how Sir Jim is going to open up Manchester United and run it differently. It is going to be with people that he knows, and obviously Jean-Claude Blanc, like I said, PSG, 12 years, overseeing the rise of them and all the influx of money from the Qatar ownership. By the way, the Qatar ownership of PSG is behind Nice Ineos ownership in Ligue 1 at the moment. Just want to put that point out there. I know everyone's going to be sort of like, yeah, settle down, Adam. They'll come good in the end. Yeah, maybe. But I forgot to even mention something else. There's the Jassim bid that and the talk that Prince Sheikh Jassim was going to be putting forward as well if he got hold of Manchester United. I want to talk about that at the second part of this show as well. I was supposed to mention that at the start, so just stay with me on that. I do apologise for that. Jean-Claude Blanc, good at Juve, good at PSG, now working within Ineos, very good, and someone Sir Jim trusts quite clearly, and is part of the success what Ineos is as a business. So I expect him to come in and play a big part. I do. I think that is one of the main players that will come in. Another one is obviously Mr. Paul Mitchell. I mean, everyone knows. If you don't know who Paul Mitchell is, then I think we just need to talk about what he does. Some people have said he's not done anything for a while. He goes about his business very quietly. Obviously, he played a big part in the rise of Mauricio Pochettino by his side at Southampton, by his side at Spurs. And if you look at some of the names that he has found and brought through, then you can understand why he would fit Manchester United. I don't know if this matters to you lot, but he is a Manchester lad. He is from Greater Manchester. He's got involvement in Manchester City, Wigan as a player, obviously raised in Staley Bridge in Tameside, Greater Manchester area. So he knows his way around Greater Manchester. If that counts for anything, I don't know. But yeah, Southampton. Players like Virgil van Dijk, and yeah, he was at Celtic, but he overseen that deal. But he's the one who brought Sadio Mane in. He's the one who brought Dele Alli through. Heung-min Son. It's not a bad shout, is it? Not a bad player to be bringing through. And then just little things. And I'm looking at Manchester United right now, and I look at a director of football like Paul Mitchell. We're not going to have loads of money, so we have to be clever. And Monaco right now, not doing too bad, are they? Not doing too bad at all. That's where he is currently playing his trade. Little deals like bringing over, and let's not forget his time at RB Leipzig and overseeing their youth set up there. And we've seen what they produce. I mean, he took Smith Rowe over to Leipzig as well from Arsenal. He's also just purchased, was behind the Florian Balogun deal. If you don't know that name, it's a young forward from Arsenal, 30 million to Monaco, pulling up trees. 4 goal contributions, including 3 goals in 5 games already. Who'd have seen that one coming? And look where Monaco are in the league, flying high, scoring goals for fun, by the way, as well. He is part of successful stories. He actually did turn down Manchester United in 2019. Will Sir Jim's offer and everything of a restructure tempting this time? Could he be Manchester United's next director of football? Is he going to get lured in because of the Manchester connection? So Jim Radcliffe, he knows him. Will we start seeing this sort of link up come in? Jean-Claude Blanc, Paul Mitchell, football men. Football, 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 and nothing else but the F word. That's what Manchester United have. That's what United have missed. And let's talk about this because you look at them names and you give them 10 years at Manchester United. Look at if you gave Jean-Claude Blanc 10 years at United, he had 12 at PSG, and look at the money that they spent and look at where they've gone and what they've brought in. If you gave them 10 years as a combination at Manchester United, and you gave them 1.3 billion that United have pretty much wasted over the last decade, would we get a different story? I think so. And that's the point I want to make. Manchester United don't need loads of investment. What we do to clear the bleeding debt, and this is why all of this is obviously subject to what happens at this board meeting because the Glazers still own the club, I know. But just look at what might happen and try and put a little bit. I'm trying to cheer myself up while I'm doing this video as well, guys, don't forget. Because I was down and out this weekend, and you only have to watch back. I was very reactional and very emotional at weekend. It hit me hard, but obviously, you know me and you know how I work, and this is why I'm doing more on my channel now as well, because I can get into details like this and talk about this with you guys. Super chat in from Pad. Sorry, it took me so long to answer this one, mate. Really appreciate your super chats. Cheers, mate. I'm Tom Adam. Actually, I'm going to bring you up on the screen so people can see it. I'm Tom Adam. A part of me wants to hurt the Glazers and Jim Radcliffe by abandoning MUFC, but I wonder if A, I can/should do that. B, if it'll make any difference, especially with how divided our fan base is. This was the biggest thing that I brought up. Thank you so much, Fad, for that super chat. Really appreciate everyone's contributions, super chats and all. We're just at the brink of 150 likes as well, people, I think. Yeah, we're well over it, actually. Sorry, miscalculated that one. So well on track for 200 likes. Let's get them up, everyone. 200 mark is just around the corner. But in terms of what Fahad was saying there, cheers for that as well. Again, Fahad, brilliant stuff. Going to Manchester United, abandoning your season ticket, like I've been thinking and mulling over, to make a stand really doesn't matter. It's for you to decide. It's you alone as a football fan, a Manchester United fan. Are you actually willing to forget everything that you was brought up with, just for the sake of Manchester United being, just is the wrong word there. I shouldn't have said just. It hurts. And I know every United fan that has given up their ticket at Manchester United is dying inside, because that was their life until the Glazers came. The hardcore that left 20 years ago when the Glazers first came in, more people every single season just giving up. They're sick of the prices going up. They're sick of the way that Manchester United have run. I went in detail on that. Do check out the other videos as well that I've just done on that and how United run their ticket system as well, because that is very interesting. I don't want to go over it again. But yeah, that's on you. I mean, as a fan and you yourself, can you live with it? Can you live with paying money to Manchester United knowing it's going in the Glazers' pockets? Going on a poorly run club, paying overpaid prices, overpaid players who are just not good enough for Manchester United. Can you handle that? Have you got it in you? Because in terms of what it'll do and how it will affect Manchester United and the Glazers, absolutely nothing. It won't, because they'll just replace you. They'll replace you. And that's the sad facts of it. I think people giving up on Manchester United tickets are solely doing it right now because they just have had enough themselves. That's where it's at. That's literally my conversation with myself at the moment with it. It won't make a difference at all to the Glazers. It won't matter one single bit to them. They will just replace you. You are a legacy? What was the word again? A legacy fan or something like that? Yeah, not a legend fan because they don't care about them. But yeah, that is what it is. You are a quick replacement. Someone will come in, buy the crap plastic hot dogs that they sell, buy the Baltic pies, the United pies, everything like that. Overhyped priced Carling. The lager in Manchester United is Carling. The pubs even sell that anymore. There goes a sponsorship with Carling, by the way. But come on, you know what I mean. This is what Manchester United are. It's like buy a meal deal. 20 quid? 20 quid for a meal deal. Yeah, someone will come in and pay that. It's an experience now. Manchester United is an experience. That's how the Glazers see it. They're selling the package. They're selling Manchester United. You can go and sit up in the East Stand. It's a £50 ticket. So when you go on the Man United website and you look for a ticket, and tickets available. Holy shit, tickets available at Manchester United. So you get excited, you go in there, you have a look. I've just done this out of curiosity to see what tickets are actually available. 350 quid executive experience. So what they do, they'll take you through the lounge and then they'll just open a back door up into the normal concourse where it's a normal plastic seat where you've got about 4-inch leg room in front of you, or someone's sat on your lap if they're slightly bigger than 6 foot. It's honestly, they know how to make money, this football club, and they know how to rinse the fans' pockets. They are the best in class at it. But that's it. That's what it is. I see people outside with like them boards, like, you know, when you're like on a school trip and you see all the kids in the IVs walking down the street so they don't lose anyone. There's actually people outside holding like boards up, like meeting point boards outside Old Trafford, because there's so many people from like a day trip going out to Manchester United. And I've said this on the other shows, don't get me wrong, everyone deserves to go and watch Manchester United, but that's what the Glazers want all the time. They do not give anything back to the fan base. I know that people have directly messaged me from the Red Army saying that they are now on the, what do they call it, the blacklist. Like, they're not welcome fans because they've been holding Glazer out banners up in the corner. It's just, it's corrupt and it's toxic from top to bottom. But at the end of the day, they will still make their money out of Manchester United. That's what it is. So went a little bit over the top in terms of detail of how things are run at United there and what actually giving up your ticket means. Whatever it means to you, because it means jack shit to the Glazers to sum it all up. That's what it is. Question is with Radcliffe even going to go through? We will see. Nothing is set in stone yet. Yes, 123 head red. That is the valid point out of all of this. Like I said, I want to talk about what can be Manchester United if Sir Jim Radcliffe does take over. And it's the does and the if that count more than anything in this. But we have to look at why Sir Jim is going forward with 25%. He's not a messer. He's a big, big player of a massive multi-billion pound business, multi-businesses. And he wouldn't be going into this if he thought he was just going to be... He's not going to go into this as a shareholder, because who would go into Manchester United as a shareholder knowing that the Glazers are running it into the ground? There has to be, I cannot see any other angle on this. There has to be a look from Sir Jim Radcliffe at this as, I'm going in with a view to actually making a difference for Manchester United. I can run this better. There has to be. It just doesn't make sense otherwise. Because who would want to go into business with the Glazers? You had the best, and you've taken them down. We are a mid-table team at the moment. So unless he feels he can turn United around, why would he invest that much money? And I keep saying it. This isn't all his money either. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. The best in class, Romano is saying that changes are afoot instantly as soon as he steps foot in the door or gets that foot in the door, that 25% foot. So Richard Arnold, Murto, all the other stuff, the hierarchy up there. I mean, I'd be worried, wouldn't you? You were part of the demise of Manchester United. If Sir Jim comes in and he is ruthless, you're out the door, I feel. So, yeah, I think the shake-up needs to happen. It needed to happen a long, long time ago. So, yeah, let's just see. Guys, absolutely brilliant. Again, viewings just gone over 200 likes as well, guys. Well over 500 in the room. Get the likes up. Share the video. Let's get more people in. I'm going to the chat again right now just to see where you guys are at. Is there anything jumping out at me right now? I swear you were on the United stand. You were right. I was on the United stand. I still am doing little bits on the United stand, but I am doing a lot more on my own channel because I feel like I can say what I want to say. And that's everything. Phil, how are you doing, mate? Good to see you back in the chat, pal. Hope you're well. Hope the family's all good. Cheers, Stephanie, for the update on the likes. Brilliant stuff. Hi, Adam. Mike Lilly in the room. Good to see you. Mike, you've changed your YouTube name, but I've not spoken to you for a long time. Hope you are well, my friend. Good to see you back in. Let me just see any other interesting ones. Adam, try and Google Radcliffe dividends. Why? Am I going to get a shock? I don't want to. Have you had a Barney with Mark? Haha. No Barneys. No. I like that word Barney, though. That's an old school one, that, innit? I am old school. You've got to be in your late 30s, 40s, surely, to be using that lingo. Radcliffe will bleed the club dry, says Richard Naylor. Gilly got it. Since when did you get your own channel, Adam? Classmates, grow your own backyard. Love that comment. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I've had it a while, but I've just really rekindled it recently. I'm doing a lot more on my own. And I'm going to take this channel a little bit further out. I think it deserves it. There's been a lot of people involved in it over the years, and I just feel like you guys want to see something a bit different. Paddy says in his 40s, definitely was right about that lingo. I got it bang on. Adam, how will we ever clear the debt? Good question. United need to be at the top table of European football continuously to clear that debt. I don't know how he's going to do it. Manchester United can service the debt. We know that. The debt needs to come down. If the debt comes down, we can see a bit of investment into that debt every single year. That's simple. That basically, I don't think the debt's going anywhere soon. I think Manchester United, what we need to do is concentrate on football matters and try and keep consistently in the Champions League so the money keeps coming in, because that is about to go stupidly high next season. If you look into the way that the Champions League and UEFA are financing that next year, you can understand why the Glazers have just clung on a little bit. Who's to say an Amazon isn't going to come in and take over match day rights? We're already seeing clubs voting against the blackout for 3 o'clock. Something will be in the offing soon. I think the Glazers are just reading the room at the moment and thinking that there is going to be change. It looks like a lot more money is going to be coming into the Premier League. And this is why I think everything is just still Glazers. And the best option for them is to try and cling on to a little bit. That's how I look at it. I don't think the debt's going anywhere anytime soon. But if we start seeing chunks of it paid off because of successful football on the pitch, oh yeah, and that's not going to happen overnight, by the way, a lot of United fans will be happy with that. They will. But that is a big if and a big ask and a long way off. But you got to start somewhere. That's what I'll say on that one. Let's see. If Qatar have pulled out of the process, they can't re-enter. So going back to Ben Jacobs, everyone's favourite, it is official. So you listen to Sky and they won't commit. I mean, Javier Solikov was talking on Sky earlier on about them not being completely out. Is there a scenario where Sir Jim's deal goes south? Could they come back in? Well, officially, they are out, done and dusted, according to Ben Jacobs. They will not be coming back in. It is no longer a viable bid, and it's off the table. The noises coming out of the Qatar camp, if you read some more reports on this, are that they are completely against the Glazer regime, but the fear they had was that it was never up for sale in the first place. They could not understand why their bids were not being taken seriously. And I think an interesting point when I spoke with Ben yesterday was as well that the Jazeen bid was pro-fan. The Sir Jim Radcliffe bid was, as we said, in bed with the Glazers, bigging up the Glazers, friending the Glazers. Not at one point did the Qatari bid ever say anything positive about the Glazers, and you wouldn't. But when you're trying to buy something off someone and you know you're in competition with someone else, would you not like to actually sort of maybe go down the lines of trying to sweeten up the person you were buying off? Do some research. If you was buying Manchester United, then surely you would have looked into the fact that they care for absolutely no Manchester United fan. They don't give a toss about the fan base. So why try big it up from the fan side of things rather than the Glazer side? I mean, we didn't care. I don't think many United fans cared what they did or said to get hold of Manchester United. They could have said they were going to clear the debt. That's how they work. But they were slagging off the Glazer ownership through all of this process. And I think that's probably why, well, not completely everything and the reason why, but a big reason as to why their bid ultimately failed drastically. To make a record bid for a sports franchise ever, the biggest ever, and get nowhere near it. Yeah, they must have really pissed them off. But yeah, I think they don't care about what Jazeen think about them. They just think about the money. Yeah, it's true. They don't care. They just think about the money. But still, so Jim isn't buying a lot, is he? And he went and accepted his bid. Honestly, yeah, I mean, I can still see the point of that. I understand what you're saying here. It is, I mean, he's valued Manchester United higher than Sheikh Jazim did, but in a smaller portion, in a smaller stake, basically. Not far from 300 likes, everyone. Get clicking that like button. Cheers, everyone, for joining in. Just creeping up in numbers as well in the room. Brilliant stuff. Caroline says, who would like watch-alongs? Oh, there's a question. Has anyone seen me watching football matches? Jekyll and Hyde people. I am a calm presenter who talks sense, well, some of the time, and that's up for debate. But yeah, if you get me in front of a camera watching a football game, actually, if you sit next to me in Old Trafford, you ask the people around my season ticket what I'm like. Psycho, big time. Yeah, absolute nut job. But that's just me. I'm United, and I can't stand losing. So you can imagine my miserable days at Manchester United right now. Yeah, not a happy soul. I'm not happy to be around. Adam with the big dosser again. Yep, Adam, would you be swearing doing watch-alongs? Yeah, I'm not doing watch-alongs yet. There may be something deep into the future. There'll be something to talk about. But yes, about to smash the 300 likes mark. Yes, I'm still with the United stands at the moment, just not doing as much. TV deals brewing. They're waiting for something around the corner, says Scott. Yeah, they are. I mean, I wanted to get into what Sheikh Jazim was promising, because a lot of people are reporting that it wasn't as big a deal as what people were reporting in the media. It wasn't all the hype of the perfect takeover, but apparently he was on the cusp of, I think it was Bill who was reporting on this. So take this with that proverbial pinch of the white stuff. I look at it and I go, yeah, Kingsley Coleman, Kylian Mbappe, Camavinga, players like this, they were going to go big into buying Galactico players, making a statement. And that, to a lot of United fans, sounds fantastic, sounds brilliant. But is that where you really want to go? Because this is what ultimately has failed at Manchester United over the years. The investment that he would have put in the infrastructure, I think, was more where people wanted to look at the positive side of the Jazim bid. But for me, the Galacticos, no, I'd have gone nowhere near Kylian Mbappe, to be honest. And that sounds controversial on its own. I just don't think right now we're in a position to bring in that type of player. You bring in Mbappe in when you know you've got a well-oiled machine and you're constantly at the top of your league table or fighting at the top, like a Real Madrid. That's the sort of team that he belongs at, not Manchester United. I mean, God forbid he went to City. I mean, that would just make me cry. But yeah, Mbappe, Kingsley Coleman, that's what Jazim was promising. He was promising the promised land, basically, wasn't he? And now we're dealing with, it's like someone said there, it's like going shopping at Waitrose. Instead, we're hitting up Aldi and Lidl. We're having to be clever, aren't we? We're going to have to be clever. And being clever in the transfer window is not something United do well. So this is why I wanted to talk in more detail than what I have done, in more detail, about the likes of Paul Mitchell, Jean-Claude Blanc, CEO at Manchester United, a new one, a new director of football. This is where I think a lot of United fans would prefer Manchester United's direction to be heading, rather than one of just going in big, getting your marquee players and just throwing them in because they are the best. I mean, PSG haven't really been successful in Champions League football with that. I mean, they have been successful in, like, obviously, League One, constantly winning the league and cups there in that division. But yeah, I mean, I just don't see how that benefits Manchester United with the big players. It never will, never has done. We make our superstars at Man United. I think I've said that line numerous times. Let me just check where we're at in terms of live count. I'm coming to you guys for your questions. Oh, look at that, 317. Love it, guys. Keep it up. Keep it going. Don't forget, I did mention it earlier on. I am taking this channel forward. So contributions, anything like that, everything is appreciated and goes right back into the channel. Likes count towards everything, guys, as well. So everything's appreciated. Your comments, even the ones that are not super chats, brilliant stuff. Love you all. Absolutely brilliant again. Okay. Let's get into some of your questions. Let's freeze the chat. Here we go. Steve H. What do you think of the atmosphere? What do you think the atmosphere will be like at the next home game, Adam? Copenhagen. Toxic? Yep. If the result doesn't go well against Copenhagen, you know what we've got next is City. I was just talking about how bad I am watching football when United are not playing well. I'm not a nice man to be around in terms of anger issues, maybe. I'm just one of them fans who gets very, very irate and a little bit giddy, let's just say. Just putting it lightly. Yeah, so I would be in full-on meltdown mode come Copenhagen if we don't get the 3 points. I've already said that we're out of Champions League. I know what you're thinking. It's a bit premature, Adam, again, innit? But I've been watching shit all season and I can't see us going out of it. I mean, we were 5 minutes away from losing to Brentford at home, and that would have been our worst opening, 8 games ever in terms of how many games we've actually won. It was absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Paddy, am I related to Mark Stott? Mark Stott. Is there a Mark in my family? No, I don't think so. Any more questions? What have we got? Karen Took the Kids is coming with super chats. They just do this because they know I like the YouTube name. Jim will get his chance, but this is like thinking you've scored a supermodel and waking up next to a bucket of smashed crabs. Yeah. He's got a lot of work to do, let's put it that way. If he thinks he's going to turn United around, he must have been doing his own work. He must know who he wants to bring in. He knows that there's no time. If he wants to get the most out of his investment, he needs changes now at this football club. Changes now. That's what he needs. Ultimately, he doesn't stand a chance of making anything out of his investment with the people that are running Manchester United right now. It's quite clear. So if there is any extra investment out of that 1.3 billion that is going to be available to Ten Hag in January, I'm sure he will make it available to him through the best sources and with investment in the right areas, i.e. the right type of player. Maybe a number 1 on a Ten Hag list for a change instead of number 2 or 3. You never know. Let's see what else we've got here. Keeping up to 350 likes, everyone. Bowen signed a 7-year deal, 150, and Paqueta next sign a deal. Something is happening, says Alex Chapham. Talking West Ham, don't know why. Did I miss something? Best coaches, question mark. Best recruits, question mark. Best scouts. Face future wide open. I mean, yeah, that's what we do need. Will we get them? Are they what Sir Jimmy's bringing in? I don't know. United can win the Europa. Clark, does that mean that we're going out in the Champions League? Oh, make us all cry right now. Would you take Greenwood back if it meant winning more games? Question I really didn't want to have to answer, to be honest. I made my point clear about Mason Greenwood. Everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves rehabilitation. I've not heard enough from Mason Greenwood in terms of remorse factor or anything like that. So no is the answer for Greenwood for me. I'll just say it that blunt as possible. With super chat from Daz Salford 69. Cheers, mate. How do you think Judas Jim's PR team will spin it? This is what I've always been interested in, Daz, to be honest. This is going to be the best PR ever. Knowing we despise him already. Well, again, I think in the world that he runs in, he really doesn't care about fan opinion. He cares about the Benjamins, doesn't he? He cares about them pound notes, making the most out of any investment that he makes. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to be too fussed, but he will come up with something like I've talked about, I feel, in this show. Best in class, new CEO. Everyone at Manchester United has never been happy with the CEOs at the club in the last 10 years. There's something to get yourselves into the good books with the United faithful. Director of football, something that this club has never had, and we've fallen behind every other rival in this league over the years. Something else that the club's fans will be delighted with, I'm sure. So, yeah, I think he's got definitely ways of spinning it. And I think he will look down them lines as to say, investment will be available to Ten Hag if he wants it. The usual, if a player is available that is going to improve the club, we are always going to be interested and looking to bring that player in. You know the score. You know how it goes. Andrew, I've seen a Brailsford come up there. So I'm going to read your point out. Brailsford will be a disaster, mate. Okay. Thanks. More doom and gloom. Got caught up in a doping scandal when with Team Sky Cycling Team. Pretty sure he flopped as director of football at Nice as well. Doesn't fill me. I think you mean there with any promise at all. I mean, I understand what you're saying there. He did get a bit trigger happy in charge of Nice. We know that, sacking directors of football and whatnot. I mean, they're on what role he will play. What role he will play at Manchester United, I do not know, but I expect him to have some sort of say. I'd be more interested in the likes of Jean-Claude and Paul Mitchell, people like that, people that have worked within the high level of European football. That's what I want to see at Manchester United, who actually are just football people. That's what it needs. And I think that's a big point that Gary Neville was making as well when he talked about what's needed at Manchester United going forward and the ownership and how the club is run. I think that was a big thing there. People who have actually got the football at mind. Will you be doing fan cams or interviews on this channel, Adam? Says Cindy. Yes, I will still be doing stuff outside. If you look down on my channel, I have done a couple of fan interactions with some of the guys outside Old Trafford. So, yeah, if you are around, I will be outside Old Trafford after the games as well. So do come and say hello if you're about. Thoughts on increasing Old Trafford to 90,000? Do you see this happening? I've seen the designs. I like the designs. And the more I see of the redevelopment of Old Trafford, I actually like it more than a new stadium. The problem I've got is it's like the sporting experience. This is another Gary Neville statement, actually. The sporting experience at Manchester United, it's crap. How are they going to move them seats around to give leg room and space to people? I don't know how they're going to manage to do that while increasing the capacity. The reason Old Trafford has the capacity it has and is the biggest outside of the national stadiums in the country is because it's probably not as spacious. It's not as comfortable as the new stadiums. I've been to every one of the Premier League stadiums that are in the Premier League, that apart from Kenilworth Road, that is. I've been to all of them. So every team in this league I've visited, I've been there. I can safely say Manchester United is probably the most uncomfortable stadium behind Goodison Park. Kenilworth Road, obviously, that's an eye-opener. I can't comment because I've never been. But all the newer style stadiums are embarrassing to compare to Manchester United. Spurs, let's not even go there. The Emirates, miles better. Liverpool are making strides with theirs. They're making theirs better now as well. Obviously, Leicester's was a decent one. It's just sad, basically. It's sad that Manchester United are where we are in terms of supposedly at the top of our game. And we're just a million miles away. We used to be the best in class at everything. I hate to keep quoting Gary Neville. But, yeah, he has made some good points about that. He has brought the fan factor in them statements that he's been coming out with. Sion Jones with a super chat. Cheers, mate. Green screen next. Yeah, you know I love a good green screen. There will be one coming. That's all I will say. I'll kind of ruined it a little bit there, didn't I? But, yeah, green screens all the rage. Everyone loves a good green screen. But, yeah, we'll be taking the channel, like I said, up and up and up and up and building on everything. Cheers for the super chat, mate. 350 likes. Absolutely banging. Cheers. Adam, have you dyed your hair? This is football talk, guys. I mean, come on. No, I never will. I mean, if you go, you can see the greys. I'm not scared about showing my greys. I will never hide. I will be full on silver at one point. You can see it in the beard, can't you? God's sake. Yeah, but it does look dark. I think it's just the light. But no, I'll never dye my hair, mate. That's a definite no-go. Where did this video go? Jesus. Open up the questions and you get stuff like that. Loving the facts you have on your channel. Beaver Basher 150, brilliant comment. Beaver Basher, God, I wish I'd have looked at that name before I said it out as the best comment. But yeah, you set yourself up in these things. But yeah, that comment means everything to me. That's what I want it to be. It's not about being first. It's about being factual, getting it right, getting into details, looking at things properly, giving things time to settle. Yes, we will be running, obviously, breaking news and things like that. I will be talking about everything because I think you guys deserve to see it from a different angle. But yeah, it is about being right. It is about giving the best opportunity to make sure you get the right information. God, there's loads of questions that I've missed. Sorry, guys. Watching Beckham documentary shows how far we have fallen. If you are a United fan and you want to have any hope of United moving forward, don't watch the Beckham documentary. It will make you cry. That's all I'll say on that one. Scary how far this club has fallen. Andrew with a super chat. Cheers, mate. Best of luck with the channel. Top man. Cheers for that, Andrew. Loving that type of comment. You're looking good, Adam. George Clooney look. Yeah, thank you for that one. George Clooney, I'll definitely take that. Great show, Adam. Cheers, Chris. Alien there laughing at that name. I knew that'd tickle you, mate. Definitely. We need a new stadium. Old Trafford is just that old. Build a new one next door and keep it as a usable stadium for the women and youth teams. That has been brought up a few times, actually. I actually like the idea of what Spurs did in terms of using some of the rubble, putting it in the walkways around the stadium, keeping some of the nostalgia side of things for them. I like that. I did. And the fact that they didn't move across the city was another big thing. They actually, it was like the Pac-Man effect, wasn't it? It was just like the new stadium ate the old one, and it became like, it was just basically White Hart Lane on steroids, wasn't it? It just got bigger and better and stronger. Guys, can we get to 400 likes before we finish? We need 25 more. There's more than enough people in the chat right now. Do get on it. Stephen George, won't be surprised if players like Kepem, Turan end up at United. I mean, this is what a proper director of football and scouting system does. Like I said, what Paul Mitchell has done. The likes of Florin, what's the name? Balogun from Arsenal, youth player, never stepped foot barely on that turf at the Emirates, but he's seen him. He spent a lot of money, and now he's smashing it in Ligue 1. This is where United need to be creative with what we do in the transfer market. We've been just so predictable and so far behind everyone else. It's been scary. Adam, do you think Sir Jim has the money to... sorry, I've lost your comment. It's just gone. Do you think Sir Jim has the money to even pay 25%? It looks to me it's going to be more debt on... it's going to be more debt, basically. Sorry, the question went straight off my screen and was just chasing it up. But yeah, it isn't going to be all his money. No, mate, I agree. It's not. I think we all know that. It's just going to be added debt. And this is why I said in the video at weekend that I just didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the debt factor to me. How we pay the debt off. Are we adding more debt to it now? Is he going to be inheriting the Glazers' debt by using other people's money? He's got debts from Ineos. He's carrying them forward to United. With both of them at the helm, is it just more debt on more debt? That's how we have to look at it. And that's the worrying factor. But yeah, guys, that pretty much rounds everything up. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about right now. Main topics and rounding up the video is basically what can Sir Jim Radcliffe's team bring to Manchester United? A new CEO, a new director of football, maybe a football club running as a football club. That's the big thing. If buts and maybes, the board meeting on Thursday will uncover and probably answer a few questions. Not all questions will be answered. I think we can guarantee that. But yeah, I think we're all holding our breath. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. More video, more content, talking about what is going on. There's news with United all the time. Cheers for your support. Absolutely brilliant. Do give the video a like. I think we're just touching up to 400 likes now. So get that like button hit. Subscribe to the channel if you are watching for the first time. Brilliant interaction again tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Cheers for that, everybody. I will be back tomorrow. I'll see you all later on. Have a great rest of the evening. Enjoy what's on TV. Football is back this weekend. I will be looking ahead very soon as well to that Sheffield United game. I'm not going to lie, kind of bricking it a little bit. I'll leave it on that one. Cheers for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Have a